This video is meant to show users of older TI-83 plus and TI-84 plus calculators how they can do sums. There's a separate video that will talk about some of the newer TI-84 pluses and show you essentially the same idea, but the fact that the screens will look a little bit different when you enter information. What I'm about to show you will actually work on any of the calculators if you put them into classic mode, if you have that option in the mode menu. If you don't have that option in the mode menu, then you definitely need to be using the ideas that are in this video. So what we're going to try to do is evaluate the sum from 1 to 100 of the expression 2i minus 3 times 1/2. Let's go over to the calculator and see what we can do here. So we need to start with a sum, and we're going to get that by pressing second and the stat button. That puts us into the list menu, and we're going to go to the math submenu and choose option 5, which is our sum. We're going to go back into the list menu, so second and stat again, and the second time we're going to go to the ops menu and choose option 5. That's a sequence. That's what the list of numbers is that we're going to add up. We refer to that as a sequence of numbers, or some kind of rule that tells us what the value is when I is 1, I is 2, I is 3, and that gives us, in this case, a sequence of 100 numbers. The first thing we tell the sequence is a formula. I'm going to replace the i's with x's just because it's easier to type on the calculator. So I'm going to put a parenthesis here, and I'm going to say 2x minus 3, that's for the 2i minus 3. I'm going to close that parenthesis, I'm going to say times 1/2. Then I'm going to put a comma. So the first thing that I've written in is what the formula looks like for each piece of our sequence. The next piece is just going to be the letter x. That's basically saying that the x is our index of summation. That's the thing that's going to change every time. You could get pretty complicated with these things and have multiple letters in them, but only one can actually be the index of summation, so we have to tell the calculator what that is. Now we're going to need to tell the calculator our lower bound, so the 1 in this case, comma, the upper bound, 100. And then the final thing we tell it is how much it should increment by. We can actually tell the calculator to increment by halves or by twos or by any value that we can think of pretty much. We want to tell it 1. We want it to go 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, etc. And then I'll close the parenthesis from the sequence and from the sum, and I'll press enter. Calculator will think for a brief moment. Older calculators might think a little bit longer, but it's pretty fast. And we find out that this sum is 4,900.